Alright, we're just leaving Lake Mulwala, Kiffin's Reserve. Nice large camping area on the lake. It was a great night, nice and cool, great sleep. Didn't catch anything as to be expected, as usual. So that it is what it is. The others are they're heading back to Sydney today. I've still got a couple more days off from work. So I'm heading back up to the mountains probably to Yarrangobilly to get on the Trout for another night. But before we get there, we've got a few stops to make along the way, so we'll check them out. Apart from that, I'll probably see you guys in the mountains, hey? Yeah! We're at the Boardwalk over Lake Mulwala, just down the road from camp. That tree right there is huge and it's incredible, but the GoPro and photos just don't do it justice. It's so frustrating. Alright everyone, I want to introduce you guys to a new little driving series I've decided to do, and this is driving with Alex and his top pet peeves, things that really grind my gears. So this is in no particular order. Number 1, sharing food. Stupidest concept man has ever created. Number 2, slow walkers on sidewalks, because slow walkers are just the bane of existence. Give yourself an uppercut. The elderly are an exception. Number 3, people that smack their lips when they're eating, making sounds, chewing sounds, 2 uppercuts. Number 5, tailgaters. Just back off a bit. It's not that hard. 3 uppercuts because something not right with them. Number 6, skiers. Number 7, if you give way to someone, just put your hand up and say thank you, acknowledge it, say thank you. Give yourself 5 uppercuts. The number 7 or 8, if you've never left the city, whether you live in Sydney, Melbourne, or wherever you live, and you have the nerve to say that, like, oh, there's nothing to do in Australia, it's so flat, there's no beauty. Because how can you say something is boring if you've never actually gone off your ass and gone out and explore it and check it out? 10 uppercuts. Alright boys, I've got my turn off here, so it's been a great trip. It's been a great trip, George, so thanks for that. So I'll see you guys on the next one, hey?
Thanks, Alex. Yeah, enjoy. See you next time. They will.
Just turned off the highway, so first stop Tumbarumba, and then up the mountains through Cabramurra, and then into Yarrangobilly. That's where I'll camp tonight, so yeah. So I've just left Tumbarumba. Tumbarumba is a really nice town, especially in autumn. I'm heading up to Yarrangobilly. Now the road I'm going to take, in the past 4 years, it's been closed for maybe 3 years. At first it got closed because of those black summer bushfires we had in 2019 and 2020. And then just when they thought it was all good, we had those La Nina floods and all that rain come through. That caused some huge landslides in the area. So that shut the road for even more. They finally managed to fix it, repair it, get it back on track. And then I believe a month or 2 later, there was a lot of heavy rain again and it caused even more landslides. So they've got it finally reopened. I believe it reopened like 3 or 4 months ago. It's the Elliott Way. So it connects Tumbarumba to the Snowy Mountains Highway that runs through Long Plain. It's a typical mountain pass, just like all the other ones here in the Snowy Mountains. You start off with like a 500 or 600 meter climb, and then it immediately drops until the road runs parallel with the Tumut River, and then it climbs again for another 800 meters till it gets to Cabramurra. It's a bit of an up and down, snaking kind of roller coaster ride, which is a kind of roads that we love. It's slow going, but it's spectacular drive. Like the drive from Thredbo to Cancoban, the Alpine Way, that's one of the best drives you'll ever do in Oz. So we're coming down into a little rest camp area right along the Tumut River, and this will be the lowest point of this drive, so we'll have a bit of a rehydrate, get a bit of a snack in. All right, now it's time to do the uphill section straight to Cabramurra, and then to Yarrangobilly and set up camp. So here we go. So over here on the right is where they had another one of the major landslips. It's still a work in progress, it looks like, but yeah, that looks like it was a really bad one. You start up in the mountains, in the high country, where you got these windy road passes where they snake their way along the side of the mountain, constantly ascending and descending. Really dense snow gum wilderness, especially high up in the Alpine, where you got these huge boulders and this karst landscape, the cold, crisp, cool air, along with the perfectly clear, freezing cold waters of these little creeks and streams and rivers that kind of begin their journey high up in the mountains and then flow all the way down, you know. Such an incredible drive. Like this part of the world, this part of Oz is just so beautiful, man. There's so many different roads you can take. You know, you got Alpine Way, which is spectacular. You got Snowy Mountains Highway, which is very different to these. It's nowhere near as twisty, and the elevation gains, there's not much, but that's incredible as well. You got this one, this is just amazing. It's so good. It's so hard to keep your eyes on the road because you're just constantly looking around at the landscape, you know, like the snow gums that have copped, you know, so much abuse from bushfires over the years, and it's such an incredible landscape. And here it is, nestled in the heart of the Snowies. You've got all these snowy hydro stuff. You would never think that you'd find it here. All these transformers and all these massive high voltage towers and stuff. It's just crazy what they were, how they were able to like you know, get it done in such an environment like this. And they did it so many years ago. Like, it's just crazy to think the engineering of it all. It's just unreal. I'm just going up to Cabramurra now, which I think is the highest township in Australia. It actually got built as a town specifically for the snowy hydro workers, I believe. I just thought it's just around the corner here. I'm in the area, so I'll go check it out. Here in Cabramurra, I've got to make a correction. This isn't the highest township in Australia, but it's one of the highest. It was said 1,480 meters above sea level. So if it's not the highest, it's probably like the third or fourth highest. I imagine Perisher is higher. Maybe a couple of the Victorian resorts as well. They're probably considered townships. So, but the view's incredible. Look at that. The Aussie mountains, beautiful. They're doing construction work down there. I'm pretty sure that's to do with Snowy Hydro 2.0, so I guess it makes sense that they're using this base as like a accommodation for the workers, which makes sense. I mean, it's a waste of money if they're not using it for that. So, but yeah, this place would get absolutely frigid in winter, but it's a beautiful place nonetheless. So I've just stopped in to check out Delaney's hut, which was destroyed in the bushfires. I didn't realize they already rebuilt it. It got reopened officially 1st of April this year. So yeah, looks great. How they've the rebuild looks great. So very nice hut. Kosciuszko High Plains. I know I've said it many times before, but I love this part of the Snowies. The Yukon Bean, the Murrumbidgee rivers that flow through it, the small creeks that snake their way through the plains to create just an incredible system of veins. It's almost as if the water represents the blood of the earth and the river represents its veins. It's just amazing. And the Brumbies of Oz. Up here in the northern parts of the Snowies, you're almost guaranteed to see several herds of Brumbies. Herds of Brumbies galloping along the river's edge. Over the years, they have made the high country their home. Regardless of which side of the fence you sit on regarding the controversy surrounding the Brumbies, there's no doubting the fact that they're just beautiful, majestic creatures that have become an icon of Australia. G'day guys, down here in Yarrangobilly on the Yarrangobilly River, set up camp, beautiful spot, another cracker. So I've got about 3 hours of light left, so I'm going to go for a fish. Yeah, so I can see some trout in there with my name on it. Have a flick and hopefully we get a few tight lines. So yeah, we're in for another beautiful night tonight. The wind will die down, it'll be nice and cool. Gotta love it, mate. Life out here in the high country can't get better, really. It's beautiful. Well, this is a very quiet session. Not a single hit, not a single take, not a single miss. Whole bunch of snags. Fly line will find any way possible. I don't know how, but fly line just manages to get tangled in the weirdest ways and most frustrating ways possible. Yeah, not a great session. All right, morning again. Interesting night. As you could see, there was a heavy frost last night. Was not expecting it. I guess that's another example of the weather out here in the mountains can be very unpredictable. The forecast was nowhere near what the temperature actually got to. The multiple forecasts I saw were like 4 or 5 degrees at night. But I woke up for a slash at like 3 o'clock and it was about -3, -4. So it's a good thing I brought my thermals with me. Far out. But yeah, it's just it's, you know, quite a big frost everywhere. So but yeah, beautiful morning here. So I'll wait for the rooftop tent to defrost a bit before I try and pack it up, because I made that mistake once, leaving my awning out over a heavy frost, and I could not physically pack it up until about 12 o'clock because it just refused to close. So I'll just chill out here beside the river and yeah. I'm all packed up, heading home. It turns out that there was no trout that was calling my name last night, so it's a bit of a shame. But it's been a great trip from the mountains to the Murray, to the outback, and then back to the mountains. It's been an awesome trip, a great 8-day trip. So yeah, back to Sydney, back to work, and catch you guys on the next one. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So see you later.